delivered even after they're already on the way. I was kind of hoping to use that for qualifying draw and change my qualifying draw to a later one, but I didn't get to do that. And I'd love to blame us starting second on that, but I can't, seeing how my teammate went out ahead of me. I was just telling Jeff, it's a good start for us, but when you lose one by a couple hundreds, a couple tenths, like, okay, I don't know if I could have got that. But a couple hundreds, you always rerun the lap, and you're like, I probably could have found a couple hundreds somewhere. And then to lose the track record, too, on top of it is just kind of a double whammy. But the guys did a great job. I'm looking forward to the race, and I think we've got a good car.
All right, Jeff, great lap for you guys. Just talk a little bit about qualifying here at Richmond.
Yeah, it's a really solid day for us. We went through so much the last time that we were here. And I think that we learned a lot through that experience. We've qualified well here the last several times, coming close to being on the pole. I think also losing by 100th, I think. So, we ran a great lap in practice there to close out practice, and I was a little nervous at that time. I was like, this is too early to be that fast and have that good of a car. So, felt like then it's just a guessing game, how hard you drive it, how to adjust, make adjustments to the car, what the guys are going to do to that. So, all in all, I'm very pleased. I mean, to be within 100, 200s and be third, great place to start this race. Good pit stall selection, and I felt like our car, is going to be good in the race as well.
All right, we'll take questions for Brian first. If you have a question for Brian, okay. You can get a mic right here, please.
Hey, Brian, Tim Perrell with the Richmond Times-Dispatch. Denny always runs really well here. Have y'all changed the setup at all to accommodate you?
I have no idea. Denny and I's driving style is actually very similar. The way we get out of the gas, in the gas. So I suspect that they have not changed it at all. The car is great. I mean, all the Gibbs cars are obviously good, and the package they have here, whatever they do, works really well. It really cuts in the center, and the guys just did a great job. Obviously it's a new car, so I'm sure there's some differences from last year compared to the Gen 5 car, I guess is what we're calling it now. This is the new Gen 6, but I don't know exactly what those differences are.
All right, any additional questions for Brian? All right, Brian, good luck in tonight's race. We'll open questions for Jeff Gordon. If you have a question for Jeff, raise your hand.
I'll reach out.
Okay, let's go to Hank right here.
Hey, Jeff, Hank Kurz with AP. Is there a feeling with you drivers that it's kind of us against NASCAR? And when you see Matt win a pole after the week he's been through, is there kind of a yay Matt feeling among you guys?
Yeah, I was kind of thinking of my weekend last week in Kansas, and I was thinking, how much I deserved to get the pole after starting 43rd last week. But I guess after his week, maybe he deserved it a little bit more. I don't think so. I think that you go through the ups and downs of this sport if you've been in it long enough, and sometimes mistakes are going to be made or things are going to happen. I've been on both sides, where we've we had a manifold issue here one time where it was made out of the wrong material, and it was a GM part that was sent to us, and it was a mistake, but ultimately the team takes that responsibility and pays the price. And so you feel for everybody on the team, you feel for others when that happens, but it's just kind of the way it works.
All right, additional questions for Jeff? Okay, let's go to Bob.
Bob Packer, Sporting News. Is it possible for his team to be more motivated and because of this and have better performance from it? I mean,
if being angry and wanting to have revenge makes you better, then yes. I mean, I think that's kind of maybe going back to your question as well, is that when things like this happen and you don't feel like it's unjust, that you kind of take it upon yourself as a team to just push a little bit harder, just do a little bit more. And sometimes you don't know that you have that in you, but it's amazing how in that moment you can find a little bit more. And I think we've seen it in Brad as well with the two team, and that fight. So, sometimes it tears you apart and tears you down, and sometimes it lifts you up and makes you stronger and makes you fight harder. And the thing is, Matt and his team, they're a rock solid team, and they've been shown it this whole year. And continue to this, to me, that whatever happened this past weekend is not going to affect how those guys perform going forward.
All right, Stan here.
Jeff, Stan Creekmore with RPMtonight.com. Based on what you just said, to the previous question, does the manufacturer have a responsibility to the team to do the best they can to cover the financial end of what NASCAR hands down against that team?
I mean, there's an argument for that. Again, the team is ultimately responsible because they're the ones that sign off on everything, take that car. And so if there's a part and piece on that car, who doesn't matter who delivered it to them, where it was manufactured, it's still their responsibility to put it on the car and make sure that it passes inspection. But as an insider on the team, you're pretty upset, when you feel like, okay, this is not a part and piece that we need to go through and check the metal, or we weigh every rod. I know when we get them, there's not a single, and we actually have them heavy. Ours are to the heavy side just to be safe. That's just what I'm hearing that we do. So you just assume that that's what every team does, and I don't know if that's the case in this scenario.
All right,